Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vase. Have very little time. Today, I got to run to a couple of meetings. So we're going to try and go through this real quick. I'm already on screen share to avoid wasting much time. I got your live chat open. We are starting off with about 200 live viewers, so that's pretty nice. And let's just go ahead and get started. Zoom did an update, and something is weird. I can't move the bars. Well, for starters, they're encrypting, so that's good. But can't seem to move the thing to the other monitor, so that will make it a little bit annoying for me to do this. But anyway, let's move on. On my website, the workshops are the webinar is done. The webinar went amazingly well. Probably tomorrow, around tomorrow, there should be it should be right here on demand. And the only upcoming workshop that I have planned is the one in Dallas, Texas, which is part of not part of, but in line with the BitBlock Boom conference, which is taking place in Dallas, Texas. Sorry, I meant Dallas. I said, well, I always get Dallas and Austin confused, just by words, not by cities. But I will be attending and speaking at BitBlock Boom. And the day before the conference, I am going to hold, at the moment, my last in-person scheduled workshop. Prior to that, I will be in Canada for the Futurist conference. So you can find me there. You can also go to September, and you can see where I'll be traveling in September. Just hover over the flag to see the name of the country, and I will fill out the rest of my year probably sometime later this week. Okay, that's about it. If you want to support this free YouTube channel, please check out the affiliate page. We have added LVL Exchange, which is open to American citizens, unlike other exchanges. So please check your jurisdictions. Also, Ugly Old Goats newsletter that will save you 50% with this referral link. All right, guys, let's get to the markets and see what's going on. I'm actually going to open up NVT signal. I know it's not going to change much day to day, but I am very curious at which point could it potentially cross that 70% line, or not 70%, but that 70 that 70 barrier. And Willie, if you're watching, please move the other line that up to 30 points. And I'll be watching that. Let's go to the weekly chart. The week is looking much better than it did, I believe, at this time yesterday, while I was taking my 6-hour delayed and 9.5-hour long flight. Bitcoin was bouncing. And now we are sitting right here. We went all the way up to 11,000. And right now, the weekly chart is on a price flip, but it is on moving average support. It's on the 20-period moving average support, which has not been broken in a long time. The last time we closed below it, we were sitting below it for approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. The 6th week closed right on it, and then we traded above it from that point on. So we will be watching this week and very curious how it ends. I can tell you this for sure. If we close below this moving average at week end basis, that is a problem. The moving average currently sits at what price? The moving average currently sits at, it sits right here at $10,100. So closing below that, which probably means closing below 10,000, is a bit problematic. Oh, 1 second, guys. All right, back. So let's look at now the daily chart. The daily chart bounced off of its 50-period moving average, which is not surprising because the 50-period daily is approximately the 20-period monthly. They're not that far off. They're usually somewhat in line. And we bounced from it right back to the area of the breakdown. This is very, very common. This is very common for dead cat bounces to bounce into that area of prior support. Now, as we bounced, you can see that the moving average continues to rise. And at this point, it has separated itself from the TD trend line, TD support trend line. If we break this again, it becomes problematic to hold up the price. So let's see what happens. If we can get back above 11,000 and close above 11,000, that's a pretty good sign. Now, I don't like these double bottoms. I do expect these double bottoms to be broken. But at this point, right, what I would be doing is, if we fall back any further, now what I would do is I would take this line and I would put it here, and it really should be red. And just like that other no trade zone. And now this comes down to the $11,000 area. So now, just like we had that no trade zone up there, I would be bullish on Bitcoin if we can break and go up from this $11,000 zone. And I would be bearish on Bitcoin if we come back down and break below the $10,000 zone. So this no trade zone has just completely moved up, okay? And this is how, that's kind of how I trade. Now, also keep in mind, I'll make this red. Wait, this one. I'll make this red. I'll make that one green. But in addition, we create a whole other line here. Yeah, this is, I don't know, Zoom's doing some weird stuff. Come on. In addition, I would, that one's supposed to be green as well, but I'll make it blue. This here is now also very, very critical. This line here, if we can break above that high, then we really go up, like really go up, right? Like if we get back to this $13,000 area, then we're really going to rise. So now I can take a much thicker arrow and like put it here. And I can make that like that, right? Like that's what you're really looking for. Okay. But this right here is formidable resistance. And if I had to take a guess at what would happen at 11,000, we would get a rejection, go back down to 10 and break 10 and go below. Now, I don't really expect the price to bounce in the $9,000 area. If we go below 10 once again, I do expect it to come all the way down into the 8s and probably lower 8s. All right, here is the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, the shorter moving averages are coming down. The main moving average is still rising. We did bounce. Nothing here on TD that would have helped much. Not a huge fan of aggressive 13s. You are still in the countdown phase from this 9. You're up to an 11 now. Maybe next candle, or actually maybe this candle. I think this candle, if it goes a little bit lower, will print a 12. And then the next candle potentially can print a 13. But then there is another 13 coming from this 9. I don't really know how seriously to take these things based on the 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart is still generally bearish. Very likely we will price flip next candle and reset the count. The 12-hour topped at a 9, and it hasn't given you a 9 yet at the low. So maybe we'll finally get a 9, I don't know, eventually, and then time to bounce. The daily is still bearish, so maybe the daily will get you on a 9, and that would reverse the market. We'll see. The weekly is kind of neutral right now. All right, nothing really much else to say about Bitcoin. It's approaching 70% on, that would be nice. It'd be nice to crack 70% on Bitcoin dominance. We will get above this peak, which would also be ideal. You knock out yet another peak. So that would be good. Shitcoins. I heard something about Btrash and Ethereum working together. That's a match made in heaven or hell, more like hell. So not surprised Ethereum's going back down. Ethereum is going to go to new lows. Ethereum will join B-Trash in its grave to zero. The cash version of Ethereum is still hanging in there, but it's a red 2 below, red 1 following a 9, so that's not good at all. Litecoin. Litecoin is potentially on a bounce here. That is a very nice doji. This was a notification in the tone-based notification service. Currently still free, but it will be a paid subscription, probably starting September. And you have the link pinned on my Twitter feed for that. So Litecoin could potentially bounce here, going into the halving, which is going to take place in a couple of weeks. But the moment Litecoin goes below this red line, I mean, man, are the rats going to get off the sinking ship? Let's just put it that way. This is Litecoin versus the dollar. It can rally a little bit here. It's fallen pretty hard. And this thing is going to go under new lows. But this time around, right? See, the last time Litecoin was at lows, it went all the way down to $23. Wow, how the mighty have fallen, right? From 300 down to 23. That's way worse than Bitcoin ever fell. And imagine what happens to Litecoin when after the halving, it falls below 23. It's dead. It's done. No one's going to be mining that garbage. Bitcoin, GBTC is obviously down. I am going to be very interested in GBTC once this premium comes down to the 5% range. I actually need to update this, I think. I have, yeah, I need to update this by a couple of months. So I'll do it next time. I don't want to glance at your live chat. US dollar is rising once again. That's good. That should have an effect on gold to the downside. Gold is coming up on its weekly 9. It might top there, pull back. And I want to see if that pullback can hold 1350. If that pullback can't hold 1350 and the dollar starts to rise, gold might be done. I'm very skeptical on this gold rise. Very skeptical, even though there are bullish trades there. Oil is just hanging in there. The euro should be falling. Yeah, I made sure I didn't leave Europe with too many euros because I think I'll be able to buy them much cheaper when I go back to Europe in September. And the S&P 500, be a little careful here with the S&P 500. It is on a sequential 13. Oh, we did this channel last time. That's a nice looking channel. I'll hold on to that one. It's on a weekly sequential 13, though it has some room to the upside, right? It has some room into the channel. It's still on a 6 of 9. It's the NASDAQ that concerns me. But yeah, we were taking a look at AMD in my course. It's the NDX that concerns me because NDX is on a daily 9. Granted, Friday was a good update. I really want to see it follow through today. And this is how you know what kind of a 9 it is. If today is an update, in an orderly fashion going above yesterday's high, I am going to be bullish the stock market and the NASDAQ into its countdown phase, which is already going to be on a 3 as the candle opens. Assuming it opens in a positive way. I won't be around for the open, unfortunately. And then I'm interested in being a bull into the countdown phase. But at the moment, I would have gotten out on this 9 from my tech sector. And oh, why do these have little red dots on them? Maybe TradingView updated as well. And I would be looking to short if the opportunity presents itself. But if it doesn't, I'm happy to go long. Like Amazon was on a 9 up there as well. And so far, exiting on this 9 serves you well. You can always get back in. Or is this the pre-market action? Is TradingView giving us pre-market action? It is. Awesome. Thank you so much, TradingView. You're giving me pre-market action. So Amazon right now is looking to open a little bit lower. And Google isn't showing me anything, actually, in pre-market. I think this is Friday's candle. No, 15th. That's yesterday's candle. Oh, I'm sorry. Yesterday was Monday. Today's Tuesday. I don't even know what days it is anymore. Markets traded yesterday. I was on an airplane throughout the entire day. I had no idea markets were open, actually. That's what happens when you travel this much. So this is this morning's candle. That was yesterday's candle. See, that's why I'm confused. Like I hated when some candles are shown and some aren't. Apple. Apple is looking pretty bullish, right? You just had a green 2 go above a green 1, even though the... Yeah, no, I like this posture. I like bullish Apple right now. A little surprising Apple is holding up this well. And Netflix is on a good pullback. Let's see if the 50-period moving average can bounce the stock. I'm not going to look at all of them. Tesla, again, same thing, right? I needed to prove it to me. I need this 2 to go above this 1 to be bullish Tesla. Otherwise, I'm happy taking that profit on this 9 and being patient. All right, that's about it. Maybe I should check Ferrari. Ferrari was on an interesting 9 somewhere, I think on a weekly scale. Yeah, right now I would be bullish Ferrari once again. I thought this would be a nice reversal trade, and but it never confirmed by trading below the shooting star candle on that weekly candle. Now there's no way I would be short Ferrari at this point, and I would be looking to potentially go long because it can clearly go higher. Things can always go higher. We had a very interesting stock in the notifications. It was another one of those. And I'll show you this, and I'll glance at the live chat. Then I'm gonna have to get going. Where is my notification service on Telegram? Yeah, it was a stock called SBAC. Let's check that out. SBAC. Okay, it's a US stock. And I found this very interesting because if you go to the monthly scale, this thing was a monster. It just went from, with the sequential 9 on a monthly scale, from 160 all the way up to 235. I have no idea what this company does, communications company, okay? Went all the way up to a 9 on a monthly scale. Now we still have 2 weeks to go and earnings is coming. So anything can still happen, right? But this month, if you were holding this stock, that bounced off of the 50-period moving average twice beautifully. It's telling you, hey, you may want to take your profit. Now, which week this month should you take that profit? Well, let's go to the weekly scale, and it's telling you that it's this week. This is the week. This is a 999. 1, 2, 3. 999 with combos 13. This particular week, though, it's not a reversal candle yet. And if you zoom in on the current week, we just have a 9 today, yesterday, okay? Wasn't a perfected 9, but a 9 is a 9, right? There was also a 9 last month that bounced the stock down into its setup trend line. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 pierces of the setup trend line, never able to close below it, rallied back up, made a slightly higher high, probably divergence, absolutely. MACD, RSI, I don't have the CMF opened up, right? Clearly divergence right here on a daily chart. I mean, if you're holding the stock, if I was holding the stock, this is the time to potentially exit. And I would love to, I wouldn't mind taking a chance here on a short or buying a couple of puts. That's what I would do. You can do whatever you like because I know where my stop loss is. My stop loss is right here above the 7 candle. This is what the entries, exits, and stop losses was all about. Now, if I wasn't already short off of this 8 candle, I would wait. I would wait and see how the next couple of days plays out because the week can still take you a little bit higher and still be a 9. And the month can still take you a little bit higher and still be a 9. But this is the time for this thing to pull back, okay? So this would be, I mean, this is what the notification, I'm not going to be like helping you guys once the notification service is up and running. This is your free education till the notification service works. Okay, I am almost 30 minutes in. Oh, I'm curious what Zoom looks like now. Oh, what was that stock? I should probably add that to my list. SBAC. Done. Zoom. This is the fake Zoom. The fake Zoom is now up to $3.50. This is the shitcoin, right? This is a stock that was worth half a penny for years. And the only reason why it's now trading at $3.50, this thing is like, it's like Bitcoin in 2010. I mean, look where this was. This was valued at 0.01 cent at the high and 0.0001 cent at the low on January in January of this month. Okay, this company did not do anything. This company just happens to have the ZOOM ticker that it probably didn't want to sell to Zoom, and rightfully so. This is your Ripple, this is your Ethereum, this is your Bcash, this is your Shitcoin, and the only reason why it is valued at $3.50 and not 0.0001 penny like it was in January is because it happens to have the Zoom ticker, because everyone thinks it's Zoom, the thing that I'm using to stream this video. This is Zoom. This is ZM. ZM is a $100 stock. ZOOM is a wordless company whose stock traded at less than a penny for years until Zoom decided to go public. And now this stock is worth $3.50. This is the best analogy to altcoins as you can possibly have. There is nothing there. There is nothing valuable in this company. But I bet you there are scammers all over the place that are selling ZOOM as Zoom stock. And that's why it's rising, until eventually you realize you're holding a bag of nothing. Yes, if anyone has the Libra ticker in the ICO shitcoin space, you can start advertising it as Facebook coin and make a lot of money until hopefully you go to jail. Like, what was that? Where is Drew Hinkas's tweet? Let me find it. Where was that? Oh, wait, it's in my law review group. Here it is, right? Like, this is what will happen eventually, hopefully. $400,000 civil penalty. Of course, if you just made $80 million on your scam, paying $400,000 is nothing, right? It's less than your tax bill, assuming you would have paid taxes. And this is what happens when you start to, advertise and fraudulently sell things. CFTC just fined a couple of people. No, I didn't catch a cold. It's like allergies. It's like certain cities absolutely kill me. So unfortunately, that's why I don't stay in certain cities. What is the probability in the near future to close and arrest Tether and Bitfinex companies? I'd say it's greater than 50%. The alerts link on my Twitter seems to be down. Really? Let me check that. No, it's not. It works for me. Yeah, no, I'm not sick, guys. Vitamin C is not going to help. I never even heard of GLUU. If I've never heard of it, I'm kind of curious. Glue Mobile. I don't know why I added it. I was just gonna check it. That's the daily chart. No, I don't like it, right? It's in a massive downtrend. If you want to catch this falling knife, I would not have had the opportunity because it never made it to a 13 or a 9 on a daily scale. On a weekly scale, it looks much better. On a weekly scale, it bounced beautifully off the setup trend line and a 9 with a green 2 going above a green 1 this week. So if I was paying attention to the stock, the time to enter was yesterday, not today, unfortunately. Today, it may not be too late, but if you were paying attention to the stock, the time to get into this stock was on a weekly scale right here. It's a green 2, following a green 1, following the 9, beautiful entry. You do have to be careful with, right there. You can get in right at the open as the green 2 is going above a green 1. It even pulled back and closed the gap beautifully. And if I go to the daily chart, this happened yesterday. So the time to get in was yesterday. You could have jumped the gun a little bit by taking the green 3 above a green 2, but that's on a Friday. I would not have done it. And that was a nice trade. If you took this long trade, I would just set a break-even stop and pray that the 9 weekly takes you to a 9 weekly to the upside. But be careful. Earnings is coming up in a couple of weeks. Earnings is coming up at the end of July. And so you want to be careful. If you're up big going into earnings, you certainly want to get out, and you should be at a break-even stop. All right, let me look at your live chat a little bit. Bitcoin was the best performing. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin was the best performing currency of the past 8 years. A successful, oh, yeah, sure. That's a statement. That's not a. I'm not sick, guys. I don't get sick. Quote from Eric Labroso: "What's about to unfold will make all the past conflicts in Bitcoin look like child's play. Are you ready?" Any idea what that means? Probably the clash between federal government and Bitcoin. Yeah, I have no idea what Ethereum and Bcash are doing, but Vitalik had a famous tweet congratulating Roger Ver and the Bcash team for forking and going to a bigger block. So I will say it once, I'll say it for all. Vitalik is not that smart. Vitalik doesn't understand blockchains. He doesn't understand Bitcoin. Vitalik created a horrible product that is going to get him in a lot of legal trouble eventually, and potentially in a lot of trouble when Ethereum implodes, because Ethereum is not sustainable and it's not scalable. And I'm not surprised that he likes Bcash, because Vitalik doesn't understand how this shit actually works. Oh, I'm in top chat. I'm not in full chat. I don't know why that is. Any plans to visit Dubai? Mentally, yes, but no direct plans yet. What's my opinion on a flu vaccine? I don't take flu shots. I've never taken flu shots. I think taking a flu shot is the fastest way to actually get the flu. Just stay healthy and eat right, and you won't. I've never had the flu. Maybe when I was a kid. I'll update my price percentages once something interesting happens or the year is coming to an end. I really don't see a need to do it now. Any plans for Tel Aviv? Yes, potentially in September. I have to update my schedule. They're going to put the Ethereum blockchain data on Bcash. Please do it, because the Ethereum blockchain can't handle all the data. Please fill up the Bcash blocks, and they'll be more expensive than Bitcoin blocks. It'll be hilarious. How do you deal with jet lag? I don't really get jet lag. So there's a couple of ways to deal with it. One, I learned from Jimmy Song, is not to eat the day of your flight and wait till the following day in your new destination. That's supposed to help. I started eating once a day, so it's very easy for me to skip a day. The other thing that I do to manage my jet lag is I try to stay in the time zone of my incoming country within 24 hours of getting to that country. So For example, if I'm flying from Europe to the US in the middle of the day, I do everything I can not to fall asleep. So this way, even though, let's say it's midnight or 1 a.m. in Europe, and it's only, let's say, 5 p.m. in the US, and I'm on the airplane, I'll force myself to watch some good movies, or basically I'll do everything I can, talk to the people next to me and annoy them. I'll do everything I can not to fall asleep. And this way I get to let's say I got to the US and it's only like 9 or 10 p.m., but my body thinks it's 3 a.m. in Europe. So in which case I'm like, okay, now it's time to kind of go to sleep. This way I'm going to bed a little bit early in my new country. I get to wake up early. And I'm immediately reset to the body clock. It's a little harder to do it while I'm going to Asia. Like if you're going from US to Asia, there's a 12-hour time difference. So what do? You force yourself to do it the other way around. So like the day before the flight, I would probably try to stay up late. I may even find a reason to work throughout the night. And then I get on my airplane in New York, let's say in the morning, like a 10 a.m. flight to Asia. But in Asia, it's like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. So it's time for you to go to sleep. It's nighttime there. It's morning here. But if you manage to like stay up all night and work, you're tired. So the moment you get on that plane, you immediately pass out. You sleep for 12 hours. You wake up in Asia. It's a 12-hour flight. You wake up in Asia in the morning. You get there. It's morning and you're rested because you just slept for 9 hours on the airplane. So, or like I said, or the other way around. So I get myself and don't eat. So in between those two things, I do drink wine because it helps me fall asleep on the airplanes as well if I need to. So between those two things, I have almost zero jet lag. The moment I get into a country, I'm immediately on their clock. Do you still think a Bitcoin can hit Tyler's 1,000? It's unlikely. I'm going to say can. Bitcoin can do anything. Bitcoin can go to zero. Now, 1,000 is unlikely. Sub 3,000 is significantly more likely for obvious reasons. Okay. I think that should be it for me. Maybe I'll glance at Square. Yeah, I'd be careful with Square right here because it topped on a 9. I'd wait and see what happens. Okay, guys, I'm going to get going once again. If you like this content, please check out the affiliate section where you can support. The on-demand workshop of entries, exits, and stop losses should be here tomorrow. And check out the calendar to see where I'm traveling to. And I will see you all on the next one.